Today, I want to talk about the effects of scams and fraudulent activities on African economy. Africa is a very beautiful continent. It is blessed with riches, with so many natural resources. But one thing that we are struggling with in Africa is definitely corruption. It's corruption because despite all these natural resources, despite all the income that the Africans are making from importing, from exporting, from doing all sorts of businesses, the continent is still among one of the poorest continents in the world. Why is it so? One thing, corruption, scam, and fraudulent activities. Before I quickly dive in, let's just say this. Let's just put this out because it's definitely the truth. The media has kind of inflated the level of corruption, the level of scams and fraudulent activities in Africa, making Africa seem to be one of the most dangerous and most corrupt continents in the world, which is not so. That is not right. So I'll go back to that much later, but now let's talk about the effect of corruption. If you're watching this and you're into fraudulent activities, you need to understand how your activities is having a major effect on other Africans and the continent as a whole. When we talk about fraud, scams, and all these activities, we are not only talking about the victims, we're not talking about the citizens, your fellow compatriots. The things they have to go through just because of your own activity, just because of your own behavior. Listen, if you don't understand, you need to understand this. Your activity, your behavior, everything you do online, everything you do outside the country, everything you do outside the continent has a way to rub off on us. Yeah? On the other innocent people. We have so many people in Africa who are legit people. They are actually legit people who are in Africa, but they are affected. They can't get job opportunities from international organizations because once you mention particular countries in Africa, they'll just be like, oh no, or they'll just block you instantly. You need to think about all this when you go about your activities, how your activities is affecting other people. If you need help, if you need assistance, there's no problem. It's not illegal to ask for help. Ask for help. Talk to many people as much as you can. Yes, and the people who want to help you will help you. And those who don't want to help you will move on. The highest they will do is make fun of you, laugh at you, call you names. But you didn't do anything wrong. All you did is ask for help. It's better than going abroad, doing so many things that would bring shame to the African continent. There's a proverb that says that don't throw stones in the market. Don't throw stones in the market because it might meet your family member. It might meet someone you love. It might meet someone you care about. This also applies to you as someone who is involved in all of these activities. If you keep throwing these fraudulent stones out there, who knows who that stone will come back to me? Who knows who that stone will come back to affect? It might be your brother, it might be your sister, it might be someone you love. So when you're doing all these things, you need to think about the number of people that you're going to affect. It has really affected the economy of Africa. Despite the fact that Africa has enough natural resources, we are generating enough income from agriculture, from taxes, from several businesses. If you have ideas or you need money for investment or you need someone to help you, kindly ask for help. It's better to ask for help than get involved in so many activities that will bring bad image to our continent. Yes, I'm not going to refer to Africa as Africa right now. I'm going to refer to it as our continent. And as Black creators, as content creators, we need to come together and lend a voice to this issue because it is really damaging. It is damaging African economy. The other day, I was talking to a friend. She was literally crying on the phone, telling me that, oh, she got this appointment and she turned on for the interview. But at the point of the interview, they asked her what country she's from. And she happened to mention one of the countries in Africa. She happened to mention one of the countries in Africa. Before she could even finish, they blocked her off the platform. That is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. And many other people, many other creators, many other personalities, individuals, private citizens that have gone through this kind of issues in their lives, in their businesses, just because they are from Africa. Now let's even talk about the passport, everything that we have when we're traveling. Do you see how we are profiled? How Africans are profiled? There are so many other ways to make money, especially in 2025. If you have your iPhone, you can make money. If you have a smartphone, you can make money. You can make money just by being on the internet legally. There are legal ways to make money. Yes, if you don't have money for a smartphone, if you don't have money to finance your ideas, your businesses, please take a loan or ask for help. That way you will be able to come up with the funds you need. Yeah, so I just needed to talk about this because this is a major issue. This is a major issue that we have in Africa. And this is the number one issue why Africa is still a backward continent, despite all its natural resources and riches. And the fact that we don't even get to have natural disasters, that's even a blessing to us. Other continents have to deal with several natural disasters. We don't deal with that. We've never experienced droughts. We've never experienced like major droughts. I mean to say some parts of Africa like they experience droughts, they experience all these things, but it's not extreme. It's not as extreme as other continents. We are blessed in Africa. African presidents, African governors, African leaders, we need to stand up. We need to stand up and do better. And we African citizens, we need to stand up and do better. If you need help, go ask for help. If you need funds for anything, we'll get a loan. Yes, we are brilliant in Africa. We are very brilliant. All we have to do is to sit down with a book. Just sit down with a pen and write down ideas. Yeah, we are very brilliant in Africa. All you need is a pen and a book. Sit down, think about the problems people that are going through and the kind of solution that it can provide. Yes, and you will be okay. This is 2025. You don't need to do illegal things to have money. Investors are starting to run away. They are starting to go to countries like Philippines, like Panama, like Mexico, like all those other countries to invest. Many of them don't want to invest in Africa because of the corrupt practices. And when these investors, when these companies leave Africa, what will happen? It means that many Africans will be left jobless. And in Africa, when you don't have a job, when you're out of job, it's very hard to get another job. It's very hard to get another job, and people have to look for a way to survive. People have to look for a way to survive, and when they look for a way to survive by any means, that's when you start seeing all the vices, all this corruption that is coming back to hurt everybody. We need to stand together. We need to come together. The leaders, African people, we need to come together. And Western media, please help Africa. Now let's talk about the role of the Western media. The Western media has painted Africa as one of the most corrupt continents, which is not so. Stop painting Africa as the most dangerous and the most corrupt continent. Africa and Africans cannot develop with all the major profiling that is going on around the airports, in the media. We need to stand up. We need to come together. Africa needs to grow. This is 2025. There's so much underdevelopment in Africa, and it needs to stop now. The bad press needs to stop now. And Africans, if you're watching this, we need to do better. It's not enough to hold our leaders accountable. We as people, we need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to look inward and be the change we want to see in the world. The change we want to see in Africa. Africa, it is time for development. It is time for growth. We can achieve this if we all come together and join our hands to make this work. And African content creators, you have a lot of work to do. Go out there and publicize this, talk about this, make engagement about this issue, because it's high time we talk about this. It's high time this become a trending issue. If you are from other continents and you have friends in Africa, you have loved ones from Africa, join your voice to this movement and let us find a way to make Africa great again.